Hello everyone, welcome to the topic Organization of Data under the subtopic Collection of Data, and it is presented by Shantala Kulkarni, Department of Statistics, Gopti Pugh College of Commerce and Science, Belgavi. So before I start what we're going to do in today's class, I just want to brief what we have done in the previous class. We have just seen the different methods of collecting primary data, then its merits and demerits. And then under those, we have seen one particular method, that is mailed questionnaire. So we will be seeing what is a type of a questionnaire, how a questionnaire is being framed. I'm just going to brief today about it in today's class. So framing a questionnaire, we have to follow certain rules when we are going to frame a questionnaire. Means we have to pay attention not to ask certain things. Suppose if you're doing a survey on particular subject or a particular any particular topic, you have to ask questions only regarding that. Apart from that, you cannot ask any questions to the concerned respondent. So while drafting a questionnaire, the following general principles are to be considered. First one, the number of questions should be as less as possible. Now whatever relevant data you want, you have to put only those many questions. You need not ask or make it very lengthy. Second one, the questions should be simple to understand. Yeah, it should be very straight and simple. Third, questions should be arranged logically. Yes, logically means sequence wise it has to be arranged. Then the fourth point, answers to the questions should be short. It should be yes or no type. Most of the time it should be yes or no type, or it should be with the tick mark also. And fifth one, as far as possible, questions regarding personal matters should be avoided. See, whatever questions regarding the data or the survey only should be asked. Irrelevant questions should not be asked. The next points here are sixth one, any clarifications if necessary regarding any of the questions should be supplied in the form of footnote. Suppose you all want any clarification regarding any questions, at the end of the page, or we call it as footnote, you can just mention it there. The seventh point, necessary instructions should be given to the informants. You have to instruct the informants as to what to do. Eighth question or eighth point, questions which require mathematical rigor should be avoided. See, when you are preparing a questionnaire, it should be just simple information you are getting. Nothing mathematical should be added there. And the ninth point, a questionnaire should be attractive. Yes, it should be attractive. It should be, the moment you see a person, a literate person, it should be convenient for him to solve or write the answers in a questionnaire. 10th point, the questions are so framed that the validity of the information supplied by the informants can be cross-checked. Means it should be whatever information you are giving, it should be valid, it should be true. Whatever is asked, you should give your honest answer. That which is not true about yourself, that which is not valid, you cannot answer. You have to give the correct and perfect answer. And the 11th point, questionnaire should also assure that the information supplied will be kept confidential and shall not be used for disadvantage. Yes, obviously when you are going to answer certain questions, you are giving some information about yourself. Keeping confidential means keeping it private, keeping it secret. So these are the 11 points which you need to keep in your mind when a statistician has to frame a questionnaire. So this can be a 5-mark question, students. Please remember, you may have a 5-mark question in section C saying that mention the rules or the required steps to write or draft a questionnaire. So there are 11 points, you can just mention any 11 of them. Next, you have a simple format here of a questionnaire. Questionnaire regarding introduction of English at school level. Now see, one sample of questionnaire is given to you all. What all information is given to you all. See, the first here it is date is there. Then there is a note. The investigator wants to know about the introduction of English at school level. You are requested to cooperate kindly in the successful conduct of the survey by supplying information to the best possible degree of accuracy. Now what information is asked? Name is there, age, date of birth, they have specified year, how do you write it, year, month and date. Marital status, whether you are married, unmarried, then they have told the gender, whether it's a male or female, then the qualification, primary, secondary, higher secondary, pre-university degree, post-graduation. Which state do you belong? You have to specify that. Mother tongue, you speak Kannada or any other, specify. Then they have said 8th question, can you speak Kannada? Then you have to write a tick mark, yes or no. Read Kannada, tick mark. Write Kannada, tick mark. Then the 9th question is, which medium do you studied in high school? That you have to mark. Which medium of instruction do you prefer? Children of first standard. Then the 11th question is, if you prefer Kannada medium from first standard, from which standard do you prefer English medium? Then the 12th, why do you prefer? Like when they say why do you prefer, you are going to write 2 sentences, brief and short sentence you are going to write. This is a simple example on format of a question, and here it is continued like the next, it is again the same thing only. So this is how it is going to be, which state you belong and all that. It's made it in more detail to check what are the things and all that. Format of a questionnaire. This is how a questionnaire is prepared with regard to the topic which is given to you all. So with this we finish actually the main points under primary data. See, primary data, I would just like to brief it or repeat the things once more. Primary data is nothing but it is the data which is collected for the first time. We also call it as first hand data. And the 4 important methods for collection of primary data you have to remember. And after that we have come to the secondary data. Secondary data is the data which has already been collected and analyzed by enumerators. Secondary data is also called second hand data. Yes, secondary means yes, someone has already done that task to you and you are only going to get that information from the person who has done it for you. It is already there, that information is already there. You need not make a survey on it or go and get the information. So secondary data is the data which has already been collected and analyzed by enumerators. Secondary data is also called second hand data. Now let us see from where we are getting the second data or sources of secondary data. The various sources of secondary data can be divided into 2 categories. First one is the published sources and the second is unpublished sources. Published means everything is available on, or it is published, it is open to everybody. Unpublished means it is not open, it is maintained in the form of a record. So we will see what are the published sources and unpublished sources of secondary data. Now the first point, official publications of international bodies such as IMF, IBRD, UNO, etc. Means all these international bodies, they have made publications on the internet, all in their journals. There you get the information. Second is official publications of the central and state governments. Yes, the central and as well as the state government will make publications of all the data required to the concerned areas. Then next comes journals, newspapers and periodicals. So these are all published and it's open to each and everybody. It's open to all of them. Then websites of various organizations on the internet. So under published source, there are so many sources where you can get the secondary data. Means already the data is available, you only have to go and collect. Let us see unpublished sources. Unpublished sources are nothing but records maintained at government offices, for example municipal offices, etc. The birth, the death, then the whatever your family property names, your house name, everything is recorded there, in the survey department of the concerned district, gram panchayat, whatever. The records are maintained there. So if you want to get the information, you will have to go to this particular office and get the information. Unpublished means it is not open to everybody. You have to go to the particular office and the records are maintained in the registers. So you have to get information from there. Then second is records maintained by research institutes, research scholars, etc. Research institutes, research people are always researching on something or the other. They'll be always be collecting data. So they have to make a research on particular topic. So when you're going to make a research on particular topic, it's always you want data of your concerned topic, your concerned objective. So this is one source where you will be having your unpublished source. Now I would like to just brief to you all Collection of data. Collection of data, there are two types, that is the primary data and secondary data. Sorry, I told us 4 methods. Actually, there are 5 methods of collecting primary data. First one is the direct personal observation, then comes the indirect oral interview, then information through agencies, then the fourth one is mailed questionnaires, then the fifth one is schedules sent through enumerators. So it is mentioned clearly. There are 5 methods which you have to keep in your mind for collection of primary data, and this will also be a 5-mark question. They will say mention the methods obtained to collect the primary data. That time I am going to write all these 5 methods. Then secondary data is available by 2 sources. One is the published source and the second one is unpublished sources. So you also saw published sources, what is the data available and how, from where you can get it. Published means it is open to all of them, and unpublished means it's nothing but simple records are maintained in certain offices in the registers where you have to go and collect the information. So this is about collection of data, and here about all these 5 methods you also saw the merits, demerits of all these 5 methods. So you have to remember these 5 methods of primary data and 2 methods which are available for secondary data, this published sources and unpublished sources. And in detail in today's class we saw about questionnaire, mailed questionnaire. There are certain rules which you have to keep in the mind when you are going to draft a questionnaire. So, and also there was a ready-made format given to you all about the questionnaire. In today's class I think it is more than sufficient. We just dealt with the framing of a questionnaire, a format of a questionnaire, and then coming to the definition of secondary data and the sources of secondary data. Thank you, students.